Hey, what's good, guys? Blind Dave here. Now, I'm still not 100%. I still don't feel right. But, wanted to just make a video and kind of see where this leads. Um, I guess I would start by saying, this is how a blind dude retired in 2020. So, um, if you are blind, if you are disabled, many things I can articulate on as far as how, because when you're disabled living on Social Security, Medicare, and different benefits, everything is at risk. Um, I would caution you before moving funds of more than, say, $2,000. That sets off red flags everywhere. And in my case, this is why in 2017, I could not take any profit from crypto markets as far as back into fiat, into cash, because that would have set off red flags everywhere. And my insulin alone is $1,200 a month. So there's two different types of insulins. I'm a type 1 diabetic, blind type 1 diabetic. 38 eye surgeries, 4 implants, 4 years in bed. So yeah, I don't wish that on anyone. But moreover, never exceed more than $2,000 in a transaction. I'm guessing in a month. However, I have taken, let's see, I believe the law was $10,000. Anything over $10,000 is immediately reported to the alphabet soup. So, if you were to take profit, which I have done in the past, take profit from cryptocurrency into gold or silver, either one or both, or like say JM Bullion, Provident Metals, they accept cryptocurrency, as well as e-check and whatnot. Which to me, I still don't understand why the cryptocurrency is more expensive than the e-check or wire, because to me it's the same thing. It's not like a credit card, whereas the merchant fee is an additional 3%, or if you're American Express, you're just in left field. But anyway, I was once a merchant too, so I can speak on that. But the let's see, I guess to start off with, the biggest thing for me, when I lost my vision and went blind, I already owned rental property. So I would first urge someone this route. Now, with rental property, I would say that you have to know how to do many things in order to save money, because you can spend a lot of money really quickly. Really quickly. Now, I grew up as the maintenance man for family rental properties and whatnot, so I was already used to it. But when I lost my vision, I had zero income. I had nothing. Now, my 401k, I was able to sell my 401k without any penalties. There were fees by the company managing it, whatnot. You can't get away from that. But as far as selling your 401k, you can, upon a permanent disability, you can sell the entire amount and not have any worries that way. But what I did was, at that point, I converted all of that into metals. So I went into gold and silver. Now, I became blind in 2011, and so this was right before, so somewhere around 2012, 2013 ish is when I sold my 401k, because I remember the Chinese panda had three pandas on it, and 2013 was the only year of which that occurred. So somewhere between 2012 2013 ish. Um, so I did that. The balance of the student loans, the only two ways that I'm aware of out of student loans are death and a permanent disability. So I still had a balance of like $20,000 on my student loans, which I was just, I was making good money, so I was paying, I don't know, $700, $800 a month towards student loans just to go ahead and knock them out. So that way, then that amount would go towards paying off the rental property. But anyway, none of that ended up working out. I wish I would have known then what I know now, and I would have just saved or invested that additional money. But nonetheless, it does hurt your credit drastically when it is a write-off like that, which, like I've told the other people who wanted to claim disability and said, well, you have to go 6 months with zero income. Well, I can't wait that long. Well, then you're not disabled. If you're disabled, you don't have a choice in the matter. So now, there are different tiers and whatnot, but being blind, I can earn the most of any disability, which is like just shy of $2,000 a month. However, being on Medicare with my medicines and whatnot, just for me to go say hello to a glaucoma or to a retina surgeon is like $700. That's just for me to go say hi. That's nothing major. That's no injections of Avastin or don't do Kenalog injections into the eye, into the back of the eye. That's what caused the glaucoma in my eyes. To I began to bleed at the optic nerves, so the pressures went to like 48 and 52. Began to bleed at the optic nerves. Then they rushed me into the operating room and installed a valve in each eye. So that was another implant after the cataract surgeries. So the valves in each eye. Then my pressures in each eye became either 3 or not measurable, which then caused the retinas to fold. And each time the retina folds, you lose vision. Which, to most people, like if you were to look at me, look at my eyes, you would think nothing is wrong. It's actually the back side of the eye, the retina. Each laser was over 900 lasers each time, each surgery, and was extremely painful. And that was in each eye. It's called a pan-retina laser. Very painful. But anyway, the getting back on subject here, so if you're disabled and you're wanting to invest, say, in metals, which is great, metals are physical, not an ETF or EFT, however you, I think it's ETF, electronic traded funds, yeah. Not the paper markets. Anything in paper is going to be reflected back on you it's a paper trail. So most people who are disabled invest in gold and silver and just hold extra currency under the mattress. So for whatever reason, mainly because you're not allowed to have above 2,000 in any account. So whatever. Which really sucks. I would like to see more legislation on that one day. Because constitutionally, I don't believe that is accurate on behalf of, what is that, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I mean, why is it that because my life has changed Why does that hinder me to do better? I don't understand why. So I went out in search of the answers, and this is what I hope to convey to you. What I did. This is not, okay, all the little disclaimers, this is not financial advice. I'm not your mommy, your daddy, your auntie, your CPA, or your attorney. Make up your own mind. So, basically, if you want to own property and be disabled, or own assets and you are disabled, you're highly penalized. So basically, if I would have taken profit from cryptocurrency in 2017, I would have then forfeited that $1,200 a month worth of insulin, as well as $700 every time I say hello to a surgeon, an eye surgeon, whether retina or glaucoma, either one. So, you know, and as well an endocrinologist for being a type 1 diabetic. So, and on top of that, what if I did get sick and had to go to the emergency room? That's gone too. So there are a lot of other factors there. Now, I did consider moving to Mexico because the cost of medicines are so much less. I'm not a fan of the some of the surgeons in Mexico. I have explored options as far as Russia and Mexico as far as stem cell research in eye surgery. It is not beneficial yet, in my case. The retina is in the back of the eye. It's not like other eye surgeries or implants or transplants that you can do. So it's totally different. It's the best case right now is stem cells, but we're still years apart from that. So whatever. Let's see. Now, to own assets and be disabled, the only route that I found to do so was to form a trust, which most people who are disabled have lost everything that they own. They don't have extra funds to do this, which is why usually this is a tool for the wealthy. So keep this in mind, and is also why most insurances won't insure a trust, say for homeowners insurance, or if you have a trust and you donate those assets. So you donate all these assets that are in your name, your social security number, into your trust, into an EIN number. Therefore, then under your social and your name, all that you claim is just your social security income. So everything under the trust is like a separate person. It doesn't work as though it's you as the owner. Now, yes, you have a trustee and a backup trustee, which they are in control of your funds. So if or when you do this, make sure it's people you can trust. That was difficult. Anyway, I couldn't take profit in 2017 for that reason. It wasn't like I could just wire the funds directly into my parents' checking account. Really? My family, it wasn't 20 questions, it was interrogation, is what it was. I can just see the light hanging down, the light bulb with, a little cord and the damn thing swinging over the table. Where were you on October 27th at 11:39 p.m., and go. That was my family. Try growing up in that. Actually, don't. Don't do that to your kids. That was nuts. Anyway. But, So it wasn't like I could just take profit. And imagine trying to explain this, because all you heard on television was just FUD. Oh, it's, drug money and this and that. And it was none of that. I mean, really, is the dollar any worse? I mean, no. It wouldn't. That's why there are trace amounts of every drug on a paper dollar. I mean, really? They settle in dollars. They don't settle in Bitcoin or Litecoin or Digibyte. So, if you're a criminal, I highly do not suggest being in cryptocurrency. Everything is an open book. You can see where those funds went to. Now, you may not be able to put a photo on that particular crypto address until a certain point, but one day through KYC and all this will be interlinked. Anyway, it's going that way regardless. Everyone wants to talk about, well, look, that's a total different subject. I want to focus more on how a blind dude retired in 2020. So, now, I guess from making money and putting so much money aside in a 401k over years, and then when you lose everything, you say to yourself while laying in bed, in the middle of the as well as me, and basically you got to kick yourself in the ass to get your butt out to bed, just to do something. I don't care if it's gardening, whatever you want to do, doesn't matter. In the middle of thinking through all of that, you begin thinking, well, why the hell didn't I save or invest more money? All the stuff I used to blow money on for stupid stuff, like for no reason. Look, let's go to the bowling alley and blow $200. It was like, for what? I got nothing out of it other than a sore thumb, and, I got to be at work early in the morning, so I can't drink much. It's like, I don't know. And so wishing I would have saved or invested more money way back then, and I just didn't. I didn't see the full picture. I was in debt above my eyeballs. I had every toy you could imagine, from a Z71 Chevy pickup to I had a Corvette that was only a couple years old that I bought used from a kid who didn't know what he was doing. Tried all kinds of performance stuff, so I got the car at a deal and reflashed it all to factory, and everything worked. And then went into performance, but whatever. Then I had an audiophile vehicle, a Toyota Camry, and I had a grease car because I was an automotive technician. So if I was going back and forth to work, I ran an automotive shop. So I had a little Nissan Sentra, which was great. It was, if I was filthy dirty, I didn't care about, it wasn't like driving a Corvette back and forth. You didn't have to take out the baby wipes and wipe yourself before you get in. But, and then I had a center console boat, saltwater series, a good bay boat, with a 31-foot camper and all of this kind of stuff. So I had all those toys. But, afterward, and a Harley Davidson, a Heritage Softail Classic. But, and that was the most difficult things. That was the most difficult thing, was to let all of those assets go. It was really difficult. I mean, the Harley, I couldn't even fit it through the front door, the back door, and I wasn't cutting out the brick to try to make a sliding glass door on the large back window or whatnot. It just, that was just stupid and out of the question. But anyway, had all the toys, had to let all that stuff go, and wishing I had saved or invested more. So my cousin was a truck driver. He's been driving a truck for 20-something years, 18-wheeler, over the road. And anyway, he was complaining that, this store up here, they couldn't never find anyone to unload the trucks, and it paid cash and whatnot. It only took like an hour or two, so it paid $50 cash, which, was 2 hours basically of work, so $25 an hour. And look, at that time, it was like, whatever, I'll take it. Just that's grocery money. That's money for, at the time, $50 was a gram of gold. So that was my route of investing, additionally to what I was able to then save after expenses on just disability. Because during all this, have no debt. I mean, if you, and I don't recommend bankruptcy, because that's just a payment plan. If you're going to go that route, just wipe it off and don't pay the shit, and it'll wipe off your record in 7 years. But don't do that ever again. And then learn how to rebuild your credit. My credit was shot because of the student loans, and then I had donated power of attorney to someone who didn't pay a damn bill. So that's another thing. Well, I paid it. Yeah, you paid it 4 days late. It's still late. That kills your credit report. Kills your FICO score. And they just couldn't comprehend it. And it was it blew my mind. But anyway. Don't be in any kind of debt. I mean, if you own a home or rental property, great. Really, I would stress more be on the rental property. That was really how I survived. I mean, it got so bad before I got on unloading 18-wheelers at $50 a pop. I mean, when this first began, I had to ration food. So I'm talking like twice a day, I would get a slice of bread and a slice of cheese. So, and all my so-called friends and family were nowhere. So, yeah. Anything you need, we'll be right there to help. Bullshit. That's all lip service. When it comes down to it, nobody does a damn thing. So get off your butt and do it for yourself. So, anyway. So I started out unloading these trucks at $50 a pop. And then that turned into a part-time job, which was like, 20, 25 hours a week. And I guess bi-weekly, I would make anywhere from $450 to like $650 after taxes, because I was tax exempt. I would file the WOTC, the Work Opportunity Tax Credit. So I had no federal, no state removed from me. That's probably too much information for you, but whatever. So I would earn, and that I considered as my cryptocurrency investment. That was my dollar cost average. So now the other funds that I had left over was to pay off loans, credit cards, stuff that of that nature, was like from the disability. So the disability, I just paid for normal expenses, which now I've lowered all of that. I have zero debt, which is why I would suggest don't have debt. Not necessarily the Dave Ramsey route. I mean, know how to have debt and pay it off within the same month. So know how to have your money work for you. Learn that. Anyway, so from working at this store, I started off in metals early on. Like I said, 2012-ish, 2013 was when I really entered heavily. And then I got the job unloading these 18-wheelers in 2014-ish. Yeah. And in 2015 was when I went part-time with this company. And every dollar that I earned from 2015 through 2020, because I resigned like right at the beginning of the beer flu, I just said, look, enough's enough. I've worked 5 years or so, and I was able to invest every single dollar of that into cryptocurrency since 2015. Before 2015, I was putting some money in 2014-ish, somewhere in that ballpark. And I haven't sold any of it, except one time I did. I took profit. Bitcoin went from like $400 to $1,200, and I sold, and I paid off credit cards at that time. And then I did take profit one other time, like at JM Bullion and Provident Metals. You can pay in cryptocurrency, so I did that as well. But that wasn't until later, like Bitcoin was like 5 or 6,000. But since then, I've diversified into many different others. But anyway, total different subject. So now I have a trust. So now, under the umbrella of the trust, I can form an LLC. I can form a 501c3 to do what it is I intend to do, which is smart contracts for the disabled in cryptocurrency. No, not another coin, just a project that will benefit the disabled. So, because it does not exist, and I don't know why it doesn't, so I feel the need to do it. Anyway, under the trust, you can donate all of your assets, so that way then you can then qualify under your social for all of these other programs and grants and other things, Medicare. Now, I'm not saying like if you're filthy rich and you got like $40 million to do this, I'm saying that, like in my case, I have no wife, no child, never had kids, any of that. So, it's just me. So in this case, the $1,200 a month, plus the mortgage, plus this, and insurance, and property taxes, all of that would have just wiped me out. And I wasn't looking to buy now and sell tomorrow. I bought into crypto as a long-term investment. So like they say, money that you can afford to lose, money that you don't need. So that's what I did, and that's what I did with metals too. I haven't sold any of that. I'm not going to. Now, my investment portfolio has taken a hit recently because of the construction project that I have going on, or about to go on. Now I am able to begin reinvesting into cryptocurrency again, but I had to take a time out. Now, I didn't sell any of my portfolio. It's just the funds that I have coming in are now going or went towards elevating the property. So that's a big job. So to elevate a 2-story brick on a concrete slab, so the entire slab gets elevated 5 feet, plus all the concrete work and everything else, and dirt and sod, and pulling old fence posts out and redoing it, and then building a retaining wall and all that. Look, it comes out to about $160,000. So now I can write a check for it. Now I'm good. But anyway, this has been a long road, y'all. I've made friends in cryptocurrency now. A couple people know of me. But there are many other things I want to do in this, like this on YouTube. Right now, look, I'm just having fun with this, trying to get used to being in front of the camera. If this turns into something, great. If not, oh well, look, at least I'm documenting different things and maybe this can help someone in the future. You know, it's not like I'm looking at this for residual income. I mean, residual income for me is rental property. So, all right, let me break this down for you. So, for 5 years, I worked, and just say between $450 and $650 every other week went into cryptocurrency. So just 500 every other week. What is that? 13,000. Yeah, 26 month or 26 pay periods annually. Whatever. Anyway, anyway, so that amount went into cryptocurrency, and I did that for 5 years because previously I couldn't. Before that, you know, I was stuck in the bed just looking at it, going, "Man, I wish I would have saved money. Man, I wish I would have invested money." You know, and then it got to the point where I didn't need any additional funding or money. I was actually doing pretty good. So now, before I went blind, um, oh, I'm testing my blood sugar, 184. So, before I went blind, I was earning about between 75, somewhere around 75,000 a year. And when you go on disability, they only go on the last 10 quarters of your income. And based upon that, now I was about to begin earning about 120,000, which in New Orleans is considered a lot of money. It's not like living in New York or San Francisco or San Diego where, you know, if you make $1 million a year, you're still considered, you know, poor. Here in the New Orleans area, if you earn more than 20,000 a year, you're doing all right. So I was kind of up there, I guess you could say, but my problem was I blew it all. The other thing was, so on that 75,000, I only earn $1,200 a month in disability. It's SSDI, not SSI. SSI is, I guess, if you know you're a child